My name is Kei Miyanohara. I'm good at cooking and sewing, and I've been told a lot that I have girlish hobbies. Because of my experience in the track and field club in middle school, I joined the track circle at university. I studied sports science for my degree. Currently, I'm working as a trainer. I've worked with some top athletes, and I'm very satisfied with my life. However, my high school life was something I wish I could erase. My family treated me horribly at home.
Ray, it's your birthday today.
Happy 16th birthday, Ray!
Thanks, Mom, Dad.
What do you want for your present?
We'll buy you anything you want.
Then I want a high-performance computer. I want to be a programmer when I'm older.
What a wonderful dream.
Alright, let's go buy one right now. Shouldn't you stop spoiling him?
Be quiet. You don't have any talents except for sports.
Exactly. You just stay in your track corner.
Ray's really smart. Being a programmer is perfect for him.
I think it's good to support his dreams, but... Kay, why do you think you can still continue your club activities? It's because your mom and I have given our permission. Even though Grandpa's the one paying for everything I need. In this day and age, even elementary schools learn about programming.
That's right. There's a world of difference between you and Ray.
I'm working hard at school and in my club, too. I'm really tired out because you're making me do the housework.
Dad and I want to treasure Ray.
We don't have the time to deal with you.
You're just my stepping stool, big bro.
Don't treat me like a tool! Don't speak to your little brother like that!
If you have a problem, then leave.
My parents only praised Ray, who was good at studying. Even if I participated in a tournament for my club, they never came to cheer me on. I could only think that there was something wrong with them. I've decided. Once I graduate from high school, I'll leave this house and become independent. A few months later, I passed the entrance exam for a famous private school, MoniRobo University, and left home. I juggled several part-time jobs and studied desperately. Luckily for me, my grandparents doted on me, and they even helped me pay a part of my university fees. Thanks to them, I graduated from university and got a job in a gym used by professional athletes. 7 years had passed since I'd started to work as a trainer. Here you go! Dinner is a big serving of Turkish rice a la Kay.
It looks delicious.
Today I've used Iberico pork tenderloin.
Thank you for always making delicious dinners. Let's dig in.
I'm currently 30, and this is Kyoko, my wife. We got married 6 months ago. She was a regular at the gym I work at, and we got to know each other as I trained her. Doing the housework at my parents' house caused nothing but suffering for me, but I felt that I could do anything to make my wife happy. Kyoko, don't eat too much, okay?
It's okay. I may not look it, but I have a big appetite. One day, I'll take part in an eating contest.
I'm glad that you're happy.
I'm happy because all the food you make is really good. I can't cook, so I feel bad that I leave all the cooking to you.
Don't worry, I enjoy it.
You're good at sewing, too.
Yeah, I suppose.
You even made the rucksack that I'm using for work. Why don't you try doing handmade work as a second job?
Oh yeah, I'll think about it. We didn't have a wedding ceremony. It was because I didn't want her to meet my toxic parents and brother. I've already explained the situation to her, and she's been really understanding. I've decided that, no matter what, I'll make Kyoko happy. And 3 months later, we found out that Kyoko was pregnant. We were so happy, we were cheering. I'm going to be a father! I've got to work much harder! Just when I was thinking that, I was contacted by the people I had been keeping a distance from.
It's been so long since we last spoke, Kay.
What do you want? How did you manage to find this account?
I searched using your phone number. You've got to do better than that.
Hurry up and tell me what you want.
I heard the news that you got married and started living in a detached house 6 months ago.
I guess Grandpa told you?
We're supposed to be family. Why didn't you tell us?
I didn't think it was necessary to tell you.
It's a detached house, so it must be pretty big.
What about it?
I wonder if we can go visit you.
Do you really think I'd agree to that?
I want to meet your wife. Please?
I was confused by my mother's sudden message. I knew that she must be up to something. I was holding my head and agonizing when Kyoko hit me lightly on the shoulder.
This must be God's way of saying that you should patch things up with them. Why don't you try meeting them once?
Yeah, you might be right. I've told Kyoko everything about my past. If she says so, then there's probably nothing to worry about. I decided to invite my family over to my house. 3 days later, I realized that it had been a mistake to do so.
Kay! I can't believe it's been 11 years! You've grown so much!
Yeah, I'm working as a trainer in a sports gym.
You must be Kyoko! It's lovely to meet you. I'm Kay's mother.
It's lovely to meet you too. I'm afraid I won't be able to host you properly, as I'm currently pregnant.
Really? You're pregnant? I'm looking forward to it. It'll be our first grandchild.
They seem pretty normal.
I don't trust them.
Hi, big bro.
You came too? I thought it would just be Mom and Dad.
Oh, don't say that. He's your own little brother.
In times like these, the whole family should get together. You're not making any sense. My parents took a good look at our house, checking every nook and cranny. It was like they were house buyers, confirming the condition of a new house. Kyoko was pregnant, so I had her take a seat, and I prepared drinks and sweets. Ray, you're gonna be 28 this year, right?
So what? It's none of your business.
It looks like you're still living with Mom and Dad, but what are you doing for work?
Shut up.
What?
I said shut up!
Why are you angry all of a sudden? Did something happen at work?
You abandoned us, so of course you wouldn't know.
Huh? Then explain it to me.
If that didn't happen, I would still be...
Hey, what are you saying to Ray?
I only asked him how work is going.
He didn't have such a good experience at work, so don't force him to talk about it.
Yeah, alright.
More importantly, the house isn't as nice as I was expecting.
It's smaller than our house. That's what they came to say?
It's a bit too small to live with a child.
That's got nothing to do with you. Even though you're stingy in regards to the house, you're buying pretty fancy foods. Don't go around opening stuff! I don't approve of all this luxury.
That's right. We're family. We've got to help each other.
Says the people that gave Ray all the attention.
You should be more conscious of your position as the eldest brother.
I'm married and live with my wife and the baby in her belly. I don't have any obligation to take care of toxic people like you and Ray.
You're a grown adult. Stop making excuses.
I bet you aren't even making that much, but I'm sure you don't mind us taking this. Hey, take your hands off our fridge!
Shut up! We're leaving you the rice. Whoa, there's a frozen red king crab. Let's take this.
My parents and little brother opened the refrigerator and all the cupboards and took everything they wanted. And then they left, as though nothing had happened. The house was so quiet, it was like a storm had passed through. Kyoko was still in shock, with her mouth wide open. I'm sorry, Kyoko, that this happened.
Don't let it bother you.
Most of the stuff in the fridge was taken, and even some of the cups and stuff we bought on holiday are gone.
Now I really understand why you'd put some distance between you and your family. I'm sorry I said something stupid like it being God's wish without knowing anything.
No, you haven't done anything wrong.
They know our address now, so we'd better be careful.
Yeah, they might come again. So if they do, feel free to turn them away.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I was stupid to think that I could make up with that family, even for a bit. They've been treating me horribly right up until the moment I left home. I was wrong to expect them to have changed for the better. We only just found out about the pregnancy ourselves, so I didn't want to let them bother Kyoko. We had to think of a solution once we were past the first trimester. But I didn't have long to relax. Before I knew it, they had started to cause some unbelievable trouble. 1 month later, Kyoko?
Sorry to bother you while you're at work. Do you have time?
Sure, what's wrong?
I came home from my prenatal checkup, but I can't get into the house. The key doesn't match.
What?
And your parents' car is parked outside the house.
Huh? What do you mean?
I looked inside the window and it looks like somebody's in the house. I think it's your parents and your brother.
No way!
What do we do?
Kyoko, you go to a cafe and wait. I'll call my parents and talk to them.
Okay, got it.
Mom!
Oh, it's you. You're so noisy.
How did you get into our house?
Oh, did you hear from Kyoko?
She came home from her checkup. She says that when she tried to open the door, the key didn't match.
Oh, I'm sorry. We made a copy of the key without telling you.
Copy?
It's our house now, so we're going to live here.
Stop messing around! Do you really think that I just let you?
We've had some problems recently.
What?
Ray was working as a programmer, but it looks like he had too much pride and couldn't follow his boss's orders.
Don't tell me he's not working!
That's right.
That's why he wouldn't say anything when I asked.
On top of that, your dad's pay was cut, and we didn't know how we would be able to survive.
Just make Ray work!
So we thought it would be best to sell our house and ensure we have some money for living costs. Then, take your okay-ish house and live on it.
A month ago, you were saying that it wasn't good enough!
We didn't think something like this would happen. Oh well, we'll endure it and live here.
You're being way too ridiculous!
That's that. This isn't your house anymore.
Do you really want to live there?
It's a bit cramped, but it'll do.
Fine, I'll speak to Kyoko. I really wanted to scream, even though I was still at work. When did they have the time to make a spare key? Anyway, I needed to find a place where Kyoko could relax. I booked a business hotel and would meet Kyoko there. As soon as I finished work, I headed straight to the hotel where she was waiting. Now I'm angry! How could they do something like this to the woman who's pregnant with their grandchild?
What do we do? All of our stuff is still at home.
They've gone way too far with their actions. I've got to cut ties with them properly.
Are you sure you're okay with that?
The only people important to me are you and the baby.
Okay.
Fortunately, they seem to think that we've bought that house. It might help when it comes to getting rid of them.
Oh, yeah!
For now, let's find an apartment with weekly rent. The next day, I signed a contract for an apartment. Week to weeks are surprisingly comfortable, and this way Kyoko wouldn't have to move around as often. I won't forgive them. I couldn't hide my anger, and I made preparations for my counterattack. 3 days later, so I'll give this house to you guys.
Finally, you understand.
It was ours before you gave us permission, though.
What made you change your mind?
We've moved into a weekly apartment. We plan to move again as soon as we find another house.
Oh, really? Do what you like.
In return, I want our checkbooks and private belongings back. Fine, we couldn't work out your PIN or passwords anyway. But they were planning to take them?
We'll give you back the bare minimum, so leave the home electronics and furniture.
We don't need them. We'll be buying new ones.
I'll use your room for you.
My parents were grinning as they returned my belongings. They ended up taking the furniture and electronics too, because according to them, it was set with the house, but there was nothing else I could do about it. But they were seriously mistaken about one thing. I left the house without correcting their misunderstanding. So the counterattack had begun, and they didn't know any better. 3 weeks later...
Kay, help us!
You're too loud. What?
The apartment's management company came, and they told us to vacate the premises.
Of course they would. Today's the last day of our contract.
What? This isn't your property?
When did I say it was private property? We were paying rent to live there since after we married.
What?
We won't be living there anymore, so we already paid our last rent. If you like it there, why don't you make a new contract? If you can pay $700 a month.
700? It costs that much?
Kyoko and I both earn quite a bit.
It's not the time to brag. Do something!
You say that, but it's got nothing to do with me. After screaming something nonsensical, my mother ended the phone call. I had a phone call from the management company who told me, your family won't move, so we can't clear the premises. Kyoko and I had been waiting in a cafe nearby, so we made our way over to the apartment. We ignored my panicked family and began to gather all of our belongings into a truck that we had called for. Hey, why is there a truck in front of our house? Why do you think? It's to take our stuff to our new place. Wait, don't take our stuff! This is all stuff that we bought with our own money. Did you forget that I kindly let you borrow it?
Kay, do you really think you can get away with something like this? We'll call the police! Stop laughing!
Call the police? That's what I want to do! I think this can count as trespassing. Just like I told Mom, this isn't private property. We were paying rent to live here. You should have said so sooner! You're the ones that jump to conclusions. I have no obligation to tell you anything. You stupid son! After I graduated from high school, I worked really hard and studied at MoniRobo University, and now I'm working with some top athletes. I finally met a wonderful woman, and we're living together happily.
Kay.
I really won't forgive you if you plan to bother us any longer. While we're at it, I'd like you to pay the extra fees you incurred due to you kicking us out of our own home.
What?
Wait, just wait! Kay, let's talk about this! I'll be demanding compensation officially later on. It'll include the cost of the hotel, the weekly apartment, and the cleaning fees for this house.
We don't have the money to pay for all of that.
Exactly! My pay's been cut, so it's below average. Why should I care? How about you make that jobless brother of mine work?
I won't work! I don't want to work under somebody else!
Even if you beg me to help you, it has nothing to do with me. From today onwards, I'm disowning you.
Please, we won't have anywhere to live.
Then do something about it yourselves. See you. After that, the compensation was transferred to my bank account. I guess they must have sold the car and the other valuables they could find. My father was eventually let go and became unemployed. They tried to ask my dad's parents for help, but my grandparents were aware of the situation and didn't even let them into the house. They were barely able to pay for an apartment that was over 50 years old and falling apart. But because of their relentless arguments over money, their neighbors filed complaints. Ray became a criminal and was arrested for attempted robbery of a convenience store. My former family has hit rock bottom. As for Kyoko and me, hey, what a cute little thing you are. Yes, you are.
Keep it down. You'll scare the baby.
Sorry.
I'm glad that everything went okay.
Yeah, the doctor said that it was a smooth delivery.
She was born the moment I arrived at the hospital.
A girl, huh? We better think of a name.
What about Mai? It's one syllable, like your name.
Mai. Yeah, that sounds good. When you're bigger, I'll feed you dinners a la dad.
You'll have more chances to show off your sewing, too.
If she's got a talent in sports, I'll become her personal trainer.
She might become a future Olympic athlete.
A few months after we moved out of the weekly apartment and into our new home, Kyoko gave birth to a healthy baby girl. The way she would grip my finger was so cute. It looked like she'll have me wrapped around her little finger. By the way, I blocked my family's phone numbers, and I haven't told them where our new house is or where we work. It seems that was the right decision, as they haven't come to bother us yet. On this day, I felt that I really found true happiness. I want to make sure I celebrate this new life properly.